your regularly scheduled Saturday programming, which has been going on for officially a year plus now. Yes, it's been if you want to get really technical, it's been a year and a week. So thank you all for joining us whenever you will join us, because you will join us.
Oh man. Uh-oh. Now, listen, guys. I am not associated with any MK Ultra programs that Stijn has cleverly hid from me using his altar. Okay. You will.
Oh yeah.
Right. Because that's what I need. Like, if you go to Steve, he's gonna just put a hex on you. That's probably what a lot of people think. I mean, especially when you're dealing with fate. It's just like, you can't let those cards tell me what to do. That's not what's happening here.
Only God can judge me.
Right. You watch too many Jewish movies.
Are there any other kinds? If you watch any Hollywood movie, are there any other kind, really?
Right. Well, there's two kinds of movies. There's Jewish movies, and then there's movies that we make that the Jews have to fucking change.
Yeah, okay.
Right? You know, this is why I had Tom Althouse on my channel and the Awaken Your Mind channel with my buddy Derek and the other guys I had on the panel to talk about his writing process for the Immortals, which I hadn't changed I had changed my name to I didn't change my name from Eternal yet, so I was still calling myself Immortal, or I was, and I had to explain that to people in real time for various, because the obvious interest in how, I used to call myself Immortal also, but then I got into the etymology and found that Eternal is a purer word for the undestroyable soul, right?
Yeah.
Which is why the soul and the sun is equivalent to gold, which is the element of the eternal.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why it's used in reference to the divine, right? If you're in heaven, it's typically white and gold light. Like, that's the principal kind of color palette to show you this realm of the imposter Zeus.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, it's all Dionysian, right? And so if it's all fucking Dionysian, it's all dad's fucking like aesthetic. See how that fucking works? So
Yeah.
So I had to pick a fight with the Jews on Facebook yesterday.
Oh dear.
Oh, it was fun. I saw one of the, you know how now Facebook just throws you a group's public post and it pops up in your feed,
I'm not on Facebook. Facebook doesn't want me, but
Yeah. Okay. Well, for our audience who does, listen, some of you guys should just be on Facebook just because have a purpose of influence, right? If you're not on Facebook and you're conscious, get on Facebook and, just share nothing. Be like a non-entity on Facebook who's just in the fucking conversation, because being in the conversation is in the fight. It's in the influence of the world, because your Dasein can have a subtle penetrating effect, and the world that you prefer irons itself out into the whole, right? Because we are real people on Facebook. I mean, there are plenty of AI on Facebook, and your anonymity probably get you accused of being one. But better to be accused of being AI than to have been duped by AI.
yes.
Yes, which is why I keep an eye on this guy.
Ah.
Aha! So yeah. So this one was like this Jewish feminist kind of post, and it was showing two Jewish women beheading a guy. and it says, Jewish women don't give head. We take them. I was like, oh, the circumcisional irony of this post. I made a circumcision comment, and I called circumcision people who circumcise people butchers.
I mean, it is kind of a beheading in a way.
It is a beheading.
Yeah.
Have you listened to the entire remember the Bach saga and how it speaks about circumcision and is against circumcision? And remember, the word rabbi comes from the Hyperborean King Network. Okay? The rabbis are a hijacked title.
I mean, they've pretty much hijacked everything else, so.
I know, right? It's they're like a psychic kind of Rune, right? They were like this high priest class, for lack of a better word, in the Hyperborean times.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That that was like their whole thing. The guys that were the higher creating, that were people that wanted to be productive and creating and whatever, the kings of the world, right? The various higher ups of the world, right? So the world got completely broken down, and so there had to be separated hierarchies because the ice wall in the north had destroyed the Godhead connection.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Really the man-head connection. This is a pseudo allegory for a beheading as well, right? This is this gets into our Vedic mythos about who's our headless fucking dragon again for the North and South Node. Well, it's all of a sudden it's escaping me. I'm always
Headless dragon.
What do you call the North and South Node in Vedic astrology? Because that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm not up on my Vedic. I still need to
it's
properly
just
study
escaped
that.
me. On any other day, I fucking remember it because I usually call it
Ketu?
K2.
Yeah, Vritra.
Was it Vitra? Well,
I believe
K2 and was it start with an R? No. Oh. All right. I surrender. I'm using the Googles. Let's see. Vedic North Node K2 and Rahu. Was with an R. Rahu.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so Rahu. This is Rahu, right? Rahu is the head here, right? And and Fenrir is also up in the castle in Udma. There used to be in the larger castle, it used to have that one flag that was the Fenris flag, and that was one particular wing of the family. Was the Fenris. So the mythology of the wolf and everything that it means spiritually was also a reflection of the corruption of their ego trip.
Yeah.
And so they are the Hyperboreans that are behind the rabbi. Or at least members of their bloodline, per se. Because then you've got Hati and Skol as the children. Now, this is why I mentioned that. Skol, the mocker. So I had Skol naturally respond to my comment. And it was a lady. It was a Jewish lady. She was a liberal Jewish lady because I could tell, because I found her attractive. Because she had like tattoos and attitude and stuff. But I've offended the traditions of her rabbi, and so she's got to, so naturally I was taunting somebody to behead me, and as expected, oh, look at that, a terrible mother has emerged, a monster mother. Good, perfect. All right. And so, you know, she started laughing at me about it, and she was just like, okay, yeah, it's a pretty, it's a pretty normal thing in the Muslim world. And I said, oh, the Muslim world. So that is your model society. Please I want to tell people more of what you say.
Oh dear.
There was some more wisecrackings, pretending that I didn't know what I was talking about, and then finally, one of the clipped boys with the little hats popped into the conversation, and then spoke some vile incantation of Jewish sorcery about some disease that they are probably lying about. And it's like, oh, good, some disease I never heard of that he thinks he's going to trick me with. Perfect.
That'll do.
Right? Oh, yes, and the reason why I brought this up is because when she was mocking me, I literally called her Skol and told her, go on, explain yourself. Because I love because if they're going to throw a little Yiddish at me, I might as well throw a little Old Norse at them. Because that's
sure,
motherfucker. This is practice, right? I'm beating up Loki for fun. I'm Thor. I'm supposed to. All right. So anyway, so anyway, I told him, I'm actually immune to all Khazarian, Caucasoid, and Jewish diseases.
They must have loved to hear that.
He literally left a love emoji, and that was his only response.
What?
He maybe he said clever goy, he figured it out. Perhaps that's what he was thinking.
Okay. Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
why not?
I don't know an uncircumcised man who has that problem. Now, with the multitude of European friends that I have, knowing that it's far less popular in Europe than it is in Christianized West.
Yeah.
It's not something where people run around and say, yeah, F the Jays, but seriously, guys, that shit with the smegma's real. Right? Like, nobody says that. Everybody just cleans their dick and everybody wins. Oh yeah, that reminds me. When she was mocking me, I said, no, you just have to clean. Like, this is before the guy popped in, too. It's like, no, you just have to clean your dick. It's just genital mutilation. Just wash your fucking dick. You have nasty men. That's what I said. I said you have nasty men.
I mean, yeah, like here in Europe,
nobody's responded now in about 12 hours. 12, like almost a day, close to a day in terms, right? I was just like, okay, that's interesting. They weren't all ready to jump on me. This is great. This is great. They had to bring in their was that their best? That was their best in that chat room. That was all about bold women that behead men, and then a man beat a woman in an argument. And so a man had to come in and throw a Yiddish medical term at me as an attempt to make me look stupid. That was it.
Yeah. It's kind of, well, it's very, very telling. Strong, independent woman, but we need a man to help us win.
Also, before the guy jumped in, like I had fucking explained to her. Yeah, no. What you've actually done is that you've chafed the head of the penis, so you've had us lose sensitivity there, giving us terrible irritation under that first layer of underwear, as it rubs all day, every day, numbing the nerve endings. That's what you've done, because it's genital.
Yeah.
Right? So all of that I conveyed before this motherfucker popped in with one disease I should be afraid of.
I mean, there are
People who don't
thousands
wash
that
their
you should
dick.
be afraid of. One that is
People that
apparently
don't wash
still
their dick
relevant
on
5
top of
years
a
later.
culture, on top of a culture that produces porn the most, or
Yeah.
most of porn is produced by them.
Yeah.
And so they're all about sticking your dick in crazy. This is why James True is all about Christianity started as a religion of, I don't know why it hurts when I pee. How do you think they tricked their own, let alone the Gentiles, into chopping? God damn.
Yeah.
God damn.
And they took that even further because it was like something along the lines of, you know, if your eyes are tempting you to sin, like cut out your eyes, and like a lot of those
I'm
early monks, they felt.
I'm hoping somebody says something else because I'm prepared with ammo that you only have if you know what you're doing because your heart is not anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Right? Wait till they try to bring up that, and then I'm being like, Palestinians are Semites. I rest my case. Right? Because I understand
they are.
the meaning of Semite is.
Arabs are Semites. Yeah, they
Is
are.
it basically all Arabs are Semites? Is this why the House of Saud is so friendly with the Trump administration? Because Trump is genuinely not anti-Semitic, but it's not anti-Semitism that's the issue with the Palestinians. That's just the front.
I'm gonna look it up. I don't
Right?
know, actually.
Right? Hey, listen, as far as I'm concerned, the Palestine issue all banks on who was in Palestine when the Ottoman Empire fell. That's the question. Because that period of time, you had the setup, and the world did not change its borders as such until 1946. Into 47.
So the term was originally used in the 18th century. It's always the 18th, 17th, 18th, to describe languages related to Arabic, Aramaic, and Hebrew.
Right.
Derived from the biblical figure Shem, one of Noah's sons.
All right. So here's the reality of that. 1600 is the century that the authentic Shadow Roman Empire actually fell. And that's why everything reboots in the 1800s. Now, what that precisely means in context to everything you see in the antiquities, occulted antiquities studies, I don't know what's precisely how old. But I am saying that as far as control infrastructure of human beings is concerned, and whichever dressing of the world stage you want to give it, 1600 is a certain end of the world. Makes sense. 1666 happens in that time, right?
Yeah. This is quite accurate. Actually, it's considered Afro-Asiatic. So there is some African with it as well. Even Maltese is considered a Semitic language, apparently.
Got it. All right. So yeah. So anyway, so there's that. It's been a real terrible fucking work slump. So yeah. It sucks. I want to remind people that I'm selling readings and $120 for an hour. $90 for half an hour. Private consultation reading. All right, those are my wages. You get a better wage on a fucking psychic. I dare you to get a better wage on a psychic that is of my caliber. This price is practically here to say do you care about me? And do you care about elevating a guy like me so I can do this gift for more people by my ability to fucking take care of myself, do it, and do it better? All right? Because I have to sacrifice time. Lots of time. You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm going to have to take 12-hour shifts for a thing for a short period of time. All right, you know? So I'm trying to deliver this shit. And I need an audience that is willing to sacrifice that kind of money. And it's hard to find that in the psychic field because money comes from people in the hard material world. So if you don't have the money, part of the answer to all of your problems is focus on your material ability and get up there with their skills. I'm in construction trying to do a thing. I just wiped through my savings. I'm trying to get up to like nearly $1,000 so I can go fucking get to the next level of the mystery school. On top of other investments that I have to go along the ways. And once again, here I am as if my work ethic hasn't fucking changed at all. You know, I might as well be 2012 me Ubering the fuck around. It's disgusting. And it's only because it's completely inconsistent.
Yeah.
And everything around here is asking me to trim up and talk to people and convince them to buy their shit. And I don't want to do that job anymore.
Understandably so.
Period. Okay, so in excellent news, marijuana will be made a Schedule 3 drug in the United States legal code on Monday. Which means boom shakalaka, weed stores can now fucking use credit card transactions because there is no threat of felony against them.
Oh shit, that's good news.
Schedule 3, it's their market control, right? That was their market control apparatus. It had been Schedule 1 like heroin the entire time, including in weed legal Connecticut.
Wow, okay.
Yes. You know, so you go to the store to buy with your card, you're doing a debit card withdrawal transaction to bypass the banking side because they're taking cash out of a behind the register ATM upon your purchase to turn it into a cash transaction so that way it's protected from federal law. That's how you do it in Connecticut legally.
Jesus,
Don't do it like that. The feds can fuck you over.
For weed?
Yes, for weed, because they didn't deschedule it. It's only been legal for about 5 years. It only really opened up into legality and stores openly using it sometime towards the tail end of the pandemic.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So yeah. You know, there was a great deal of legal headway made in 10th Amendment state protections to specifically define these things. In fact, sanctuary city laws, like the ones that is being used to protect illegal immigrants right now, also protects you from federal gun laws and it protects you from federal drug laws. Because it's all under the same jurisdictional permit of what the state allows the feds' incursion system to participate in, right? So with full withdrawn support, this is why this scenario sets up ICE to be an illegal Gestapo. What they're doing is, on a state level, illegal, as far as I'm concerned, because it's in dishonor to that law, and you can't beat it in the ballot box, you can't beat it in the courts, You have to fucking let it go. Right? I'm a nationalist saying this. Do you understand? Right? I don't got a fucking problem with the benefit of the doubt of most people here. But anyway, so many fucking things going on. So many goods and evils. Fascinating, right?
Yeah. It's a crazy world.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well then, violence is here. I could do a read for violence, but you know what? I forgot to grab something to drink before I came down. So if you would entertain our guests for a moment, I must hydrate.
Okay, yeah, you do that. You do that. And we have, of course, yeah, we have Timothy Wilder here. Because what would be a Stein Fox, Grainer Pagans show without the cats? Need to check the astrology. You go check the astrology. And in the meantime, make sure to invite all your friends. Then I will come along too. That's such a bad joke. Anyway, these streams. It's always been a lot of times the same people. We don't mind. We are very grateful for all of you that you're showing up time and time again for these streams. But it would indeed be nice to have some new faces, to have some new people show up in the crowd. Tim, I know my desk is quite full. Yeah, I know my desk is quite full. That's not an excuse to try and knock over my lamp. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Timothy Wilder. Yes, I saw that, Violence. I do appreciate it. And tagging Styx Hexenhammer. He has been one guy that I would love to have on the podcast, and I would love to just interview on the channel. I've been wanting that for years. Also because he lives in the Netherlands. In Frisia, I believe. I think he managed to mingle among the Frisians, which is impressive, I gotta say, especially for an American.
Sometimes when I hear some of the stuff that Styx, like Styx, I don't know why he's like, it's so weird. Like he's to me, he comes off like a gatekeeper because I've seen some clips as well as listened to him say some stuff that really just is either misdirective or as if to say, well, don't worry, this pool is about 3 feet deep, and he sticks the shallows of a fucking abyss over here, right? And I'm like, I'm starting to dislike that Ouroboros symbol in your logo, man, because you're a gatekeeper would use an Ouroboros symbol to keep you on an infinite fucking loop, spin cycle style. Right?
Yeah.
So, have Styx on. Challenge him with thoughts I've put in your head.
MK Ultra style, of course.
MK Ultra style, of course. I would open with a Catcher in the Rye quote.
Oh man, yeah, I know. I've been wanting him on the podcast for quite a while, but like just I was trying to get him on like in the very beginning when I was still trying to figure out what the hell I was doing, but like now that I'm a little further ahead as a podcaster and have had some big names on, I think it would be a lot more successful. And he's a very hard man to get a hold of. although he lives in the Netherlands, and like I said, I do believe he lives in Frisia. So I'll just, I don't know, go up to Frisia. I know the way. My kids live there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just, I don't know, in some like tiny ass freaking village, go around with, I don't know, like binoculars, trying to find that Ouroboros.
I could try and get you Henry from God Dethroned. You know God Dethroned?
I am.
Oh.
I have heard the name before. I probably heard some of their music.
God Dethroned is a sick band. Everybody should listen to them. Most of their pretty much all their songs. They're like Sabaton. They get into history stuff, but they're blackened death metal, so it's mostly harsh vocals, much more relentless and gritty. What like if you like Sabaton, but you need something heavier, go with God Dethroned. They did 2 albums about the Battle of Passchendaele, World War One. Those are favorites of mine.
Okay.
But Henry is the original founding member, and you see, back 10 some odd years ago, I was more involved with my Bronx death metal band, Brain Dead, and shout out Brain Dead, shout out Ed Corpse 555. The frontman of Brain Dead built a relationship with Henry, and used to talk to him all the time, right? And so I can try and use my boy Ed to get a hold of Henry, and if that doesn't work, I can call my boy Tommy, who recently interviewed Henry on the Wolf and the Melody channel. I know Tommy, and I could be like, "Hey, bud, how'd you get a hold of Henry? Because my friend can't get a hold of him anymore. I got an interview for him in the Netherlands, right?"
Yeah. No, I mean, I would definitely have to listen to some of their music first. The name definitely sounds familiar.
Oh yeah, they're fucking cool, and Henry is so fucking cool that there's photographs, like professional photographs of him performing, and he's the front man of the band wearing a Brain Dead t-shirt. This is after I left the band, but just to know that he fucking wore a shirt from the band I was in,
That's
like
cool.
how much he authentically fucking liked that band that I was a big part of in my time in it. It was just
That's
like,
cool, man.
that guy's fucking awesome. So yeah, so I always got to shout out God Dethroned. Always got to shout out God Dethroned.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few people that that I'm still looking to get on. One of them being, or well, I guess 2 of them being the Wolfgang twins,
Right.
the musicians, the drummers. Would love to have those guys on. Their music is pretty damn epic, and I'd love to just pick their brain.
I think they got a new album coming out, so they're ripe to talk about shit.
I've invited them before, and I'm definitely gonna try again. Like in the new year, I wanna try and make some waves, man.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to somehow like get a connection with fucking Kyle of Vitriol. Like fucking, I met him, I gave him my information, and then 2 days later, his band fucking blew up on him, and the entire metal world, it was frontline news in all the metal websites. Vitriol fucking, like, the entire band quits on the frontman. It's like, what the fuck? And everybody knows the name of this band now. So it's like, oh, awesome. Now this motherfucker has to pick up the pieces, and hopefully he still wants to do an interview once he's figured out what he's doing with himself.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he got smacked real fucking hard. You know, in the middle of a tour like that.
I've heard something about that. Yeah, I
And
believe.
for people to bother to take a side, everybody was doing coke, and yet, y'all think you can take a fucking side in this? I mean, okay, it's funny, I guess, that cool metalhead humor kind of way, but
Sure.
can we also kind of like remember, yeah, the guy got really, really, really fucked over though, on several levels. So, yeah, let's
And
let's do some readings now that I'm set.
yeah, and violence. If I was more interesting, you're welcome to come on anytime. Talk about anything, really. It's the podcast is an open platform for everyone. Whether you think you have something to talk about or not, we'll fucking find something to talk about.
Oh,
Like we'll talk about Zerilath for over an hour for all I care. Like his reading or whatever.
yeah, and I mean, violence. You gotta. I don't even think I knew you were doing anything on your channel. Like, I got a bazillion subs on my on my YouTube, so I don't sub to my friend unless my friend is like making stuff with their channel, right? You get the wrench, so that way you're noticed by me in the chat room. It's just like, who's that? It's got a wrench. They're all right, whoever they are, right? Because I'm driving. But anyway, I'll sub if it's this channel here that you're talking from. I'll just sub to that after the show. I'll check it out, and maybe you can have me on your channel, and I'll do something for your channel that way. All right.
Hey, as will I.
Right,
I don't
right,
mind.
there you go.
I really don't mind.
Why not? Hey, listen. All you have to do is have us on, and either one of us alone or together, and let the other one talk if you don't want to talk, like that kind of thing. Anyway, but anyway, let's see. You've got problems, and the Norns that hear about it. All right, 30. You are coming to clarity about something. Your constancy is bearing fruit, and it's creating success. You are raising female cattle is good fortune. All right? So it's a sense of, cultivating the life bringers, if you will, right? Nurture your capacity to see and nourish new insights. Flashes of meaning bring clarity and lasting awareness, enabling you to see signs and messages all around you. Female cattle represent the reserves of strength that sustain mindfulness, along with a quiet willingness for that power to be used and guided. What do you see? What does it mean? How can you nourish and sustain a high level of awareness? All right, so that's it's interesting. The theme principle here is clarity, but it's interesting how it's telling it in this bovine raising allegory, right? This female livestock kind of relationship with it, right? It almost makes me think of Norse mythos with Ymir and Aldumbla, and the milking of Aldumbla is also the melting process of the world, which kind of produces the things in it. Because it never really says that Aldumbla has children, or do creatures bud from out? Because creatures bud from Ymir, but Aldumbla is never destroyed. Ymir is destroyed. Aldumbla remains as like a constant, right? Yeah, and it's a sustenant thing. A meditation on Audumbla, maybe a meditation on Taurus, I think would be advised, for myself included. All right. Now, watch me pull the animal, and it's some sort of, like a bison or something. No, it's the duck again. All right. Elder duck to follow the flow. All right, I don't want to go crazy reading the little book on all these right now. So,
and thank you, Violence, for the super chat.
Yeah,
it's much appreciated.
But I think we know where to go with the idea of a duck spirit in that with that respect, and the follow the flow, is kind of going with. It's more like the duck when it's just at leisure. When it's just at leisure, it's not fighting the current. It's fine. It just chooses to be relaxed and let the current take it where it wants to go. It's in no danger whatsoever because it's aware of its surroundings, which the awareness is in the clarity here, and it can take off at any time before anything from the deep can snag it. Right? And so, that's you. You've got you've got your depth of this stuff, like how you are with us, right? It's like occult knowledge, things like that. It's that Laguz energy that's all just sitting right under there that you're holding the float on it. You can go down into the Laguz anytime, right? But you can also go up into the Tiwaz at any time. So you're operating with that heaven and hell dynamic. Now, in our focus position, we have Knight of Bows reversed. The Fox. Okay, so you've got this clarity situation, and you're going with the flow. But your problem is that you're not the spirit of that hunt, right? You're clear, you're going with the flow, but you're mistaking the journey as a passive experience. This is a proactive journey. You are on a quest, and you need to have your senses about. When I go out into the mundane world every day, I think to myself, I'm going forth like Odin. I want my memories here. I want my thoughts over here. I want the things that I pursue, Gary, over here. I want the things that protect me, Freki, the scrapper, to be over here. And I want to be as mobile as possible on my Sleipnir. All right? This is how you go into the world. And Odin doesn't miss a fucking quest. And don't lose your head, Mimir. The Black Mirror, Mimir.
Just like Jung saw a decapitated head in one of his visions.
Right. And I was bitching about decapitating heads on Facebook. Okay. So. Yikes. All right, so it's algaes, but it kind of slipped out of my fingers before I could really intuit which direction it felt like. So I've got to shuffle it around. And let's see. Okay, Merkstave. All right. All right. You you're afraid. You're afraid because this quest is asking for a little bit more risk than you want to believe is necessary. Unfortunately, it's necessary. Right? You have to put your guard up and put your instincts out there. Right? And you have to put it in these places that you're afraid of. Five of Vessels. Ecstasy. Reversed. So you haven't put your feelings in places yet that allow you to express yourself constructively, right? Because this is the the dancing around the 5 points, right? So there's the implied 5 elements within the numerology expression of this one element, and that could be done across any of the 5s theoretically. The 5 of Wands in the Rider-Waite-Smith is 5 men trying to construct a pentacle. And it's an idea. And also, what I like about the 5 of Wands is that for me, it's a level of meaning that was occulted for me for a long time. Because I would just look at the 5 of Wands and I say, 5 men attacking each other with sticks. 5 men in a fight. 5 men in the mosh pit. Right? To me now, that's the reverse, right? That's if 5 of Wands in RWS comes up reversed. Otherwise, no, it's a kind of organized chaos. Like I especially feel the 5 of Wands doing what I do as a team on a work site in construction. How everything is flying around you and it's chaotic because it's not your point A to point B within the whole of the operation. So what you do almost feels meaningless and surrounded by a bunch of other people doing meaningless things, but then you turn around and it starts to look like something an hour later, right? And, so that's what makes these big construction projects so interesting, is watching how the dynamic environment shifts and changes, right? And that's kind of a part of spell casting, right? You are sitting at an established nodal point and you are projecting your energy out in a line to reach a second point where you establish a second node in your glyph, which captures a second frequency of energy, and then that's your connective tissue along the line. So that's a little bit of structural magic for you. Anyway, so something was going on that you didn't, you have something that is emotionally unarranged for your ability to express what you're actually trying to do here. Ingvaj. And everything is being altered by this arrangement. This is a major problem because this is where the whole wellspring of this alchemical process is producing, from this origin. So, what you're going, this whole thing with the pursuit in the fox here, what's it worth to you? You get the Wood Ward reversed. You haven't figured out how it's meant to kind of serve you, like to be like a guardian angel type, right? A good a philia. I have to get that word more comfortable in my head so I don't just spew out the word angel. So you're a guardian philia. And Tiwaz is here, right? So I understand that. And that's part of the reason why you listen to me, because I understand that. Because my wood ward is activated, because my fox is activated. My life is a helpful example to inspire you. This is why I make those little living a mythical life in action. And you don't see an example of me like walking down the street and particularly seizing any kind of opportunities, but some things are the product of seizing opportunities, right? Oh, good, it finally snowed on my day off, and I have the time and the money to go up to the mountain and climb the mountain in the snow, and oh, great, my GoPro works, and boom, now I've made this video seizing that kind of opportunity, which came from other things that you wouldn't have known off of camera, from hearing about certain conversations and just going off and risking things, and that climb being so life-threatening that it was a courage upgrade, so on and so forth. Yeah, exactly. Well, you have to expand your consciousness in this particular sense. You have to do what I do. Just fucking pick a distance you're willing to travel today, or perhaps it's late. Well, no, it's only 1 o'clock. Pick a distance you're willing to travel today and a budget you're willing to deal with being out of the house, and go somewhere on the map you haven't been before that's going to be available to you. A park you've never been to, a town you've never been to, the downtown area of that town, or a memorial in that area, right? You're just go off into the corners of your own backyard that you've been neglecting, because that's what I have done to keep myself from going mad for living in this fucking area for 45 fucking years of my life. So don't make mistakes like I did. Okay? All right. So, you got the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Once again, this is more reinforcement. You'll be stuck on the Ouroboros instead of in the natural spin of your energy fields. And thus, you'll be in a time loop, much like I have been, but which has been changing incrementally in significant ways, but it's a patience process, because I'm undoing a lot of self-imposed curses, if you will. Uwaj. Oof, you got the wheel and you've got Uwaj here, right? You're going to have to make a painful choice. All right? Something's going to have to be sacrificed that you really didn't want to bother to do, perhaps didn't want to do, although probably deep down inside you know to yourself is what you had to do. Yeah. All right. Oops. Let me see here. All right. I can only go on foot till I get my bicycle fixed. Meaning, counting.
And welcome, Eric, to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Good to have you here.
All right. Well, okay. So you only go on foot until your bicycle's fixed. Well, if you can take your bicycle to somewhere where a vehicle, an automotive vehicle or a public transportation system can get you somewhere, plan a day tomorrow if you can, and just give yourself 3 hours on a tiny adventure. Give yourself 3 hours to go somewhere you've never been before and go and do something there, even if it's something you've done before, but go do something there where you've never been before. At least go sightseeing and meditating on what you see. All right. So, oh, look at this. We got some new people.
Yeah, we got
Eric and Sterling Nash. So I'm going to do a reading for Sterling Nash and Eric, of course. Please, you have to confirm with me. I need to know there's a karmic agreement that you want to have a reading. I don't have to do that with violence because she's from my side and she's basically given pre-agreement. She'll let me know if she doesn't want one. I'll put it to you that way.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. And, oh, yes, and your walk in the woods. Can't make this shit up. Can't make it up. Risk. Learn to grow wherever you are planted. Motherfucker. I love it when everything calculates properly. All right. So.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Aye. Okay. So for Sterling
Nash.
57. The subtle penetrating.
Excuse me?
Certain small success, fruitful to have a direction to go, fruitful to see the great person. Subtly penetrating means becoming part of something or someone, feeling your way into things, yielding gently to their nature. Such influence does not bring sudden transformations. It creates small success. Have a clearer vision of the great person in reality or in your mind's eye as a model of the larger possibilities implied. How can you get to know this from the inside? What is taking shape? All right, so you got the owl to trust your inner knowing. So, of course, you have the Athenian spirit involved with the owl. And of course, what do we want to call it? Is it a 359 degree head rotation? 359 degrees of the ability to look straight ahead? That's because that's the thing with the owl can turn nearly all the way around. Nearly turn. No, I'm sorry. It would be
270 degrees in either direction.
170 degrees. Yeah.
270.
Oh, 270. Okay.
In either direction.
Okay. All right. That is actually quite. That's quite. I thought it was more like 180 because I was thinking, wait, no, not all the way around. It's all the way to the back. So I was gonna say 180.
14 vertebrae compared to 7 in humans.
Right. Yeah. I'm wondering how much epigenetics it takes to have like a grandkid with more vertebrae. What good choices do I and my children have to make? Anyway,
That's some high-level eugenics, bro.
hey. I don't know if that's I don't know if just focusing on my personal integrity can really be eugenics, because it doesn't really involve anyone else. I suppose. But whatever, nobody's dying, okay? All right. 17. The Pole Star. All right. So in our focus position, the Pole Star. So, Eric does want to read. Okay, you'll be next. So, yes, so Sterling. You are having this moment of clarity. The star card's about clarity. Right? So you're having this moment of clarity, this aha moment. And, okay, you also have Ingvaj is popping up over here. So this moment of clarity is filling you. You have a feeling rushing over you with this moment of clarity that is transformative, right? So you probably, it's probably like a little tingle on your nervous system just because of a realization about something about who you are or what your world is. You have the moon on water in our origins. So, you have there's a lot of fulfillment here, right? There's the clarifying process and the fulfilling process, right? There was a fulfillment of something that brought this clarity.
Welcome, Adam Robertson, to the stream. Welcome to the Jets.
Othal. You got Othal reversed over here, right? So your contention issue with what's happening is that like this fulfillment occurred in kind of in an unsafe place. You weren't in a very safe state of being when this fulfillment came, right? I don't know if necessarily you were scared or traumatized or whatever, but it wasn't, you weren't in the right place in the right time for this to happen. And so it really kind of sidestruck you. 6 of Vessels here. So the worth of this situation to you is 6 of Vessels is reunion. So, yeah. Something popped back into your life. Someone usually popped back into your life. And it's now it's upright. It's good. It's good though. Despite this Othala situation, it's good feelings with this reunion. And Saul. And this is a very there's some deep feelings here, right? There's some very deep feelings because this is like your soul is wholly agreeable to this reunion. And what should you do? King of Stones, the wolf. All right. So, you're in a good spot with with where you're at, right? King of Stones, the wolf. Like if that exemplarates anything, is like you're fine with your money, if you will. You know, your life is in order. You are in command and of your life, and it's respectable. Like I'm in somewhat command of my life, and I wouldn't say it's necessarily that quote respectable. I make do because I need to be more capable in my own affairs, right? I would not give myself the King of Stones, right? So I would say that you're doing better than me, right? And so, however, we have manas reversed. So your mind is not quite in sync with your soul just yet to really kind of know. You don't know how you feel. You feel a way, but you don't really have, you haven't really, you're kind of avoiding the part of you that is accepting this, I think, right? And so you just need to sit down and meditate a little bit more on yourself and try to let your heart talk to your head. That's often a difficult thing to do, especially if you're a guy. Okay.
I mean, it'll talk to the small head, but
right. Okay, so Sterling, that is your read. Before I grab your Whisper in the Woods and move on to Eric, and then,
well,
Adam
Eric actually had to leave, so hopefully we'll get to his reading next week. That'd be awesome.
Well, make sure to join us again. You could have just told him, like, Steve will do your read and then just come back and watch the show later.
Or that, yeah.
I mean, is he like? Would he rather I not do it if he isn't present? Is that? I suppose he'd rather not unless he's present, which would take. I feel like I should do it for him.
If you want to, sure.
Listen, man, I'm gonna do it for you. I'm making an executive. I think it feels right. It'll be even better because it'll be blind because you won't have the ability to respond, and then. There'll be nothing you'll need to clarify. There'll be no personal detail you accidentally leak out and then not be present to discuss.
All right, we got answer from Nash, from Sterling Nash. The clarity lands as I've had a recent awakening. The fulfillment and reunion, I think, is forthcoming. That'd be nice. The mind and soul being out of sync is spot on. I've been leaning with Mara. Thank you. See? Spot on as usual.
Right. Well, that, meditation helps because, meditation typically gets you into heart center because you're being mindful of your heart rate because you're trying to slow it down, which slows the mind. And as the mind slows, the thoughts drift more along the lines of your feelings at the moment. And thus you're thinking slow enough where you can be more mindful of your heart. Right? And the different... it has a lot to do with that. Breathing methods also, because you may want to... because if you don't have a strong familiarity with your heart, not just meditation, but breathing methods and seeing how the heart rate, feeling into your heart rate, changing as you do it, right? When I do the Wim Hof practices, I don't do the ice bath, but when I do the Wim Hof stuff and I hold my breath on empty, right? The hyperventilating kind of breathing that I'm doing is raising the heart rate in certain respects because of the blood pump to the diaphragm that's necessary to do the work, right? Even though the diaphragm is the only muscle that you're actually exercising. Everything else is as if in Shavasana. I think that's the proper word for a yogic rest. When you're lying your back flat. So, oh, and Eric just said, yeah, I'll listen. Thanks. Thank you, Eric. I'm glad to be able to do it for you. All right, let's. Yeah. All right. Oh, yes. And Sterling, path. Wander on the path less traveled. What you find might surprise you. And funny enough, like Risk, that's going to go for you too, Violence. Because it very much repeats what I had said for you. All right. Eric, you got Fitty, the vessel. From the source, good fortune, creating success. Oh, that kind of wolf. Ooh. Well, a wolf entered your life in sheep's clothing, but you also had the reunion there, right?
Oh,
right. You know, because the reunion is verdandi. It's what's the situation worth to you, right? And that was all upright. It was a sowl, and it was the reunion upright, right? And you know, like that was an overall very positive read. Maybe this wolf was just trying, like, look, I'm a dragon wolf, okay? And there's me at 100% bombacity, and then there's me at 50% bombacity. Because, you know, I know how to act in public, that kind of thing. And we can make mistakes about a person's nature because, you know, sometimes that persona is nothing more than listen, do we all bend to society's standards in public a hair? Yeah, we all fucking do. It's fair. We're not so omniscient that we think every little tick about us in our private domiciles is exactly 100% an acceptable thing people can handle seeing in the real world, right? You know, it's just like, and I'm more showing off my dragon wolf than most others that may be, but I can also be incredibly intimidating if I put myself in such postures, in offensiveness, so on and so forth. But I'm not interested in spitting fire. I'm interested in spitting jokes. Anyway, a new beginning. The vessel provides stable, robust foundation for a new life, and also the crucible, where you can expect to be transformed and remade. Just as word becomes fire, or raw ingredients become food, the experience of life can be blended and transmuted into a meaningful whole. What is the vessel for? Transformation? What are you beginning? What will you cook? Well, we've gone from ducks to loons. Now the loon goes for deep dive. So, this one actually ends up being more appropriate to what I said before, right? Because I use the Lagu's interpretation.
yeah.
Right? You know. But yeah, no, that's true. Because, well, the duck goes down, but the duck's not deep. Well, the duck's more like goes in, maybe you see his feet paddling on the whatever, the surface or whatever, then he kind of comes back up, right? You know, he's a surface. He's more on the surface. So this is 26, the Elder Loon, the Dive Deep. All right. You have in your focus position 10 of Vessels. Happiness. So that's fantastic. This is like, you couldn't be a more emotionally fulfilled person right now.
That sounds good.
All right. Now,
Kind of jealous, not gonna lie.
now, however, you've got Awa's reversed, though. Awa's reversed. There's a disconnect between your emotional fulfillment and someone else's emotional fulfillment. Or how you fit in the emotional fulfillment of another person, perhaps.
Oh, that's a tough one.
9 of Vessels. Generosity reversed. So, it's going backwards here, actually, right? So, emotional generosity, right? This is not about money. This isn't Pentacles here, right? This is about your expression of care. Have you thought that maybe you withheld empathy for someone recently? Somebody had maybe opened up to you about something, maybe felt, maybe they confessed some guilt about something, and or whatever, and you didn't land right with them, or perhaps vice versa. Yera. Ah, okay. This is not just an event. This has been a pattern. It's a pattern with the subject at hand. Now, 10 of Stones up. We got 10 of Vessels, 10 of Stones. Wow. So home. Okay? So the fulfillment of your home, right? You know, the absolute, you got everything you need. Everything is great, and you could start something new from here because you've got all the possibilities in front of you. And we got Degas. And, you know, everything in your home is exciting. Three of Bows. Fulfillment. It's very interesting. Very interesting the way this started and the way it's going. Three of Bows. Fulfillment. It's, you know, this is expressing, you know, the process of the reconciliation of the two. You know, there's two bows, which are literal, just straight staves stuck into the ground, and then this this robed figure, very androgynous, who knows, could be boy, could be girl figure, has the third bow as a literal archer's bow in hand. Right? And there's the reconciliation between two different desires. And Thori says, so you have to, this reconciliation also has to have a physical protective element, right? I don't know if this literally means that you need to put a fence or a hedge around your home. Perhaps somebody was exploiting your generosity. That might be what this is about. Because that's kind of what the Three of Bows reveals to me is you know, because it's bows, it's an action. It's a very much a thing you have to do. Which may be confrontational. So, let's see. So that was all for Eric, but I noticed that violence had gone on since I think the reunion hasn't happened yet, but I expect it. Okay, all right, cool, sounds good. All right,
yeah,
all right.
I believe.
And Eric's obviously not here, so that's Eric's read.
So Eric, whenever you do hear this, whenever you do see this read, let us know in the comments. Give us some clarification in the comments as to what it all pertains to, as to how accurate it is or perhaps isn't.
Yeah. You know, because you've got 50, the vessel, and then you've got the Elder Loon, which is the deep dive. And so this is very much, it's like you've got a proper submarine to do this job. And then you can go, it's something in the deep is where this problem with the generosity issue is coming from, that then you have to extract that answer to mend the relationship issue and reinforce this work you're trying to fulfill that is hindered by what is going on. Because otherwise, you've got this great home and you're trying to keep it such. All right, that's the fullness of that. Didn't mean to cut you off, Stijn. I'm gonna read him as Whisper in the Woods in a second.
All right, no, it's no worries. Yeah, I know your intuitive brain is sparking and firing up like crazy. So yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, this is a very interesting read. So yeah, again, Eric, whenever you do see this, let us know.
Uncertainty. The shades of gray within the fog. The shades of gray within the fog will eventually lift. Which would kind of imply that, you know, you're due to have a star moment yourself. That's what's implied with that. Okay. So after Eric, did we have, I don't think we had anyone. There was Adam, but Adam never.
Yeah, he came in with induced mutation, which sounds like the second half of a great band name. We need something before that as well for it to be a proper like death metal band, but like death metal
Yeah.
with
But
like,
just induced. Well, no. I think that could be worked with a lot of bands, but a song that definitely is a
yeah.
song title for something.
But yeah, I feel as a band name, it could work. As a song name, it needs a little more, like induced mutation, like three words. It's just sounds better.
Right, right. Well, if you're getting into like black metal, like if you're getting into like how Dimmu Borgir does it, they find three very intelligent large words and that sound mysterious and dark and visceral and foreboding and evil and all these words of a certain evocation of feeling and like dark, what was it, enthroned darkness triumphant, I think is one album. Spiritual Black Dimensions, that's my favorite, actually. I have that on fucking vinyl because it's got Insight and the Catharsis on it.
Oh, speaking of, have you got in contact with grind slime dude?
I've left him comments on his thing, and I don't think we've had personal message correspondence yet. I wasn't sure how to. I need to find his contact information because otherwise I just have to leave him a comment on his channel. That's all I know right now.
Try Twitter, semi-skeptic, and otherwise I do have a phone number for you, but it's a UK number, so.
Right. Well, if he's got WhatsApp, I can put his UK number in the WhatsApp.
He has WhatsApp. That's how we communicate as well.
Yeah. So I'll do that. And Semi-Skeptic is him on X.
Semi-skeptic podcast is the podcast that he does with a friend of his.
Oh, okay.
They really don't check their messages as often, but you can try through there.
Sure, but just give me his number and I'll throw it in the WhatsApp because I get viscerally angry when people say they want to fucking talk to me and then they don't fucking respond. I get visceral, I get viscerally angry if I don't know, because I'm just like what? Because I used to be an annoying kid, and so that makes me feel like shit. Because like, fuck, was I the annoying kid today? Was I pestering this guy because I texted him once a week? Like, I don't know what it is. People don't see. I'm a dragon wolf. Some people don't even want to fucking text me because they will feel the fire breath of the wrong answer in their fucking head. And that's sometimes what I think happens. These are the problems of being yourself as with this disposition in society. But it's either that or let them tell you have a mental illness.
Yeah, well, you got such a hard life. I shared his contact details.
I know.
I've had Aaron from Semi Skeptic, who is from Rhinestone TV. I've had him on the channel recently. We did a fun live podcast, so everyone should check that out. Of course, check out Zerilath, his stuff as well. And if you like these kind of readings, do buy a full proper reading from him, and help a poor wizard out be a little less poor.
Oh, by the way, I've if you've noticed, I have reconciled the new title cap on these things. I'm now the BCRG. If you hadn't noticed, which is the initials. For
Right.
Bare-chested runic genius. So it's still there. Yeah. I still have it there. I figured it out.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us in the chat. Thanks, Sterling. Thanks, Eric, for stopping by. It's always great to see some new names, new faces, new energy, and of course, Violence. Thank you very much for being so lively in the chat as always. These were some awesome readings, and I think definitely Eric was the one of the most interesting ones that we have had in quite a while. It was a lot, but it was good. And Violence, again, also thank you for the $5 super chat. It is much appreciated. And if any of my viewers feels like supporting me a little more, you can go to patreon.com/GarnerPagans, pick out a tier of your choosing, and there is some awesome bonus content up already. I still have the Esoteric Book Club, of course, where I am reading Night Side of the Runes by Thomas Carlson, which is a very interesting book. Really need to get to making content for the Patreon again, but I've been so busy with work and life and all. And if you don't feel like funneling your money through Patreon, just become a YouTube member, which has a lot of the same perks, of course, but it's direct, and I know some people don't necessarily like Patreon. For everything else, do visit our website, www.greyhornpagans.com, for everything else. Greyhorn Pagans podcast, right off the Greyhorn Pagans. Please go to there, and you will find out and see everything that we involve ourselves with. Subscribe to Zerilath if you love what we do here. You love what he does on his channel. If you like what he's talking about here, boy, go to his channel. It's nothing but that over there. Hours and hours and hours of high conscious streams and madman ramblings and everything in between. So that is Zerilath Eternal on YouTube, Greyhorn Pagans, pretty much everywhere. Stein Fox, pretty much everywhere. Violence, you're more than welcome to come on the podcast. We'll pick a time and date, and let's get something scheduled. Neglecting your Substack blog, I know what it's like. Having a full-time job, kids, wife, and then a channel and everything. It's a lot. So, still, thank you all for the support. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for watching, for being so active in the chat. I am going to stop it here. I still need to eat. I still need to have dinner. So, it's been good. See you all next time. See you all next week. Same place, same time, same bare-chested runic genius.